My name is Peter Lengapiani. I'm the CEO of Uwezo Fund. Uwezo Fund was started in the year 2013, and this came about when the Jubilee administration, if you remember, the money which was meant for Iran of 6 billion. And His Excellency the President promised Kenyans that if they are going to vote in Jubilee administration, the money which was set aside for Iran will be used for socio-economic empowerment. That came to be actualized by the Public Finance Management Uwezo Fund Regulation of 2014, and the 6 billion was dispersed across the country, all the 290 constituencies. This is a highly devolved fund which is implemented at the constituency level. Our target group are the vulnerable, just to address on the needs of the Kenya Vision 2030. And vulnerable groups, according to the Vision 2030, are the youth, women, and people with disability. These are the people who are seen by the government that they are unable to access any loan or credit due to their inability to provide collateral.
Today we had an occasion of issuance of checks that we did to 61 groups that had already been trained and applied and trained. Amongst them we had 19 who were for refinancing, and the rest, that is 43, were new groups.
Kwanza nashukuru sana serikali kwa ile kuja na mpangilio wa Uwezo Fund. Na Uwezo Fund imetusaidia sana. Sisi ni beneficiary wa mara ya pili. Mara ya kwanza tulipata 1,100 na ikatuwezesha kuanzisha mradi hatukuanga nao wakati ule wa bucket za shule na masanduku.
Tulikuwa na ukosefu ya pesa ambapo tulijaribu kuapply pesa ya Uwezo Fund mwaka wa 2015 na tulifaulu. Kwa zile group zili apply, sisi tulipewa 100,000.
Kwa hii group yetu tuko members 15. Hii pesa tumepata round 3. Vile tulipata hii pesa ya Uwezo, kila mtu alipewa yake kibinafsi. Imetuinua kwa group na tena imetuinua kwa kila mtu kibinafsi.
Sasa at now hao wanachama wote tuko the 4th person tunapewa 50,000 from the money of Uwezo. Sasa nimeinuka. Hizi si kazi yangu peke yake. Kazi iko kwa nyumba, iko na store. Siwezi leta hapa yote. Lakini kwa wao wanachama kila mtu ameinuka.
To join Uwezo is easy. Once you pick the application form at the constituency level and you have a registered group, then you send that application to the Uwezo Fund office. The committee looked at it, and the representation of the committee cuts across. We have also representatives who sit in the committee representing youth, representing women, representing PWDs. So the interest of the interest groups are taken care of. We are also looking at the regional equitable distribution of resources, because we have representatives from each ward. These are the people who look at the applications, and we use a principle of first come, first serve basis. So those who apply early are given earlier consideration for them to access these loans. If it is a youth group, 70% must be youth and 100% leadership must be youth. Similarly to women, 70% have to be women, 100% leadership. So the other categories can compose of the other genders. Men can also be part of those groups. So that is how we allocate funds or credit. It's also an interest free. We don't charge any interest, and we give them a grace period of 6 months for them to start repaying the loans. So by all means and standard, this is the cheapest loan you can ever find. You cannot get it in a SACCO. You cannot get it anywhere. It's only in a government office that you can be able to access a loan with those very relaxed rules.
Ujumbe yangu ya wamama kwa wamama wa Machakos County, ningewauliza waungane na Uwezo Fund. Juu Uwezo Fund haina interest, haina nini, haina kusumbua. kuinua kikundi ni haraka sana. Juu hakuna siku utakuja kundaiwa, lakini we panga na kikundi, wakati ya kulipa mnalipa vizuri.
My name's Losenge Turop. The chairperson of the Uwezo Oversight Board, the board that manages the Uwezo Fund. The board had been able to develop certain strategies to improve the operation of the fund. First, we looked around and we said that we had a fixed amount of funds that was given by the government. How do we ensure that we enhance the base of that fund? And we started a committee of resource mobilization. And in the aspect of resource mobilization, we look at operations of the fund, and we linked with the relevant stakeholders, both at government and industry, so that they facilitate certain activities that the fund may not be able to do. Just as an example, UN Women has been partnering with us in training of youth, specifically on certain aspects of small, medium enterprise activities. They have also trained for us interns that are being provided to us by the government. And we've also linked with other organizations, both government and private organizations that are helping in various operations of the fund. The board has also been able to look at the organization, and we realized that we require various policies. And we've put about 13 policies in place to ensure that the operation of the fund is smooth. The board has also looked at the operation of the fund, and we realized that probably absorption in certain quarters, repayment in certain areas of our country are not very good. And we've developed certain strategies to ensure that there is absorption and repayment of the fund to the target constituencies in Kenya.
Kikundi chetu kinaitwa Hodi Hodi Disabled Women Group and Associates. Our group basically deals with poultry, goat keeping, merry-go-round, table banking. We have been empowered by youth gender office on how to utilize loans and to use money better. Tumelipa hii loan 22,900 na shilingi 10. So far sisi tuko na Family Bank na tuko na 35,000 kwa akaunti yetu. Kwa hivyo si ati tumeisha kama vikundi vingine, tuko sawa. Kuku zile, mbuzi zile pale.
So the achievement that the board has put into place is that when we came in, the repayment or recovery was very long, and we were able to sensitize the general public that it is a loan. There was a perception in the beginning that it was government grant, but now we went around the country. We informed the general public that this fund, or the target beneficiaries, that this is a fund that is supposed to revolve. So repayment has increased, I think, from about 20 to about 40%. I think it's now currently at 36%.
Tuko na shule from baby class ikiendelea mpaka class 3. Wameona, wanaona juu ya Uweza. Biashara zetu at least. Sasa hatuombi pesa uende kwa mtu kuombaomba. Sasa tunawaambia ukiingia kwa Uwezo, hii pesa ya serikali, alafu vile interest pia hakuna, inakusaidia sana.
The fund has embarked on automating its processes. In fact, we are undertaking business process re-engineering just to ensure our services also is automated, and our young people can access by the click of the button. They can undergo all the processes and even know the status of their loans, at what level it is.
My message to young people, especially those who are from school, maybe from college or from high school, is that God will always bless a humble beginning, and it's good to start humble, because as young people sometimes we fear starting small, because we listen to what people say. What are they going to say if I start making some chapatis on the road, or roasting some maize along the road, or maybe starting a small shop? I would encourage them to take a step of faith, and maybe get a loan from Uwezo Fund, because it doesn't have any interest on it, and you will be able to start small and grow. Uwezo Fund grows with you.
we are specifically addressing youth skill development and women empowerment, which is enshrined in the Vision 2030.
Normally, when you are the first time applying for a loan, or in the first time applying for a loan, you can apply for, say, 50,000 as a group of women, of youth, or persons with disabilities. So if you apply 50%, maybe the next application you request for 150,000 Kenya shillings if you completely repay the initial amount. So we graduate you to a higher, because now you've developed skills and knowledge to operate your business. We can see that you are a reliable group, and we go all the way up to 500,000. And when you realize that your group is stable, then we provide linkage to industry, linkage to banks, so that you take probably a higher loan of $1 million and above.
Uwezo Fund katika eneo bunge la Mvita kama Mombasa WhatsApp group imetujenga na kutuinua kama vijana. First kupata mkopo katika Uwezo Fund walitupea 100 ambapo ilikuwa 217. Tulilipa kwa mwaka na tukaambiwa tukishalipa kwa haraka tutapata loan nyingine ya pili ambayo ni 200. Tulilipa ile 100 na next tulipomaliza tukapata hiyo 200, ilituwezesha kubai tuk-tuk. Ndio maana unaona 200 pia hiyo 200 ndio ikatuwezesha katika partner ya National Drought Management, ambapo walikuja katika maofisa wa Uwezo wakatutafuta sisi, na walipokuja walitaka kutusupport katika hizi mashine za printing. So tunashukuru kwa hilo. Uwezo Fund wametubeba sana katika eneo hili la Mvita. Ndio maana vijana sasa tumetoa ajira kwa vijana. Sasa tunatarajia mambo mengi kwa vijana kuona ajira zaidi.
Now we've had examples and quite good groups that have gone to a point where they now come together as many groups and they form society, and that society takes a 10 million loan from a bank to put up a processing plant.
Mimi ndiye chairlady wa hawa kina mama, na hawa kina mama vikundi ni 41, lakini members they are 800. Na tuliungana pamoja kwa mwito wa Miracle Round. The youngest mama hapa ako 70 years. The youngest. Kwa hivyo tuna wakina mama zaidi ya 100 years. Hii nyumba inaweza kutupatia mapato ya 500,000 kila mwezi. Kila mwezi. Na kwa hivyo tunaweka kwa mwaka na tunakuja kugawia hiyo vikundi, kitu tunaita kama dividends, waende wajisaidie nyumbani.
The future of the fund is bright. So Uwezo is facilitating development of backyard industries within our societies, facilitating business that are growing to be sources of employment to our youth, a sources of employment to our women, sources of employment with to our persons with disabilities. So it's a very bright future for this country. It is the way to go for this country to ensure that there is a valuable capital for youth, women and persons with disabilities to start industries, small industries, processing plants, small societies that deals with, even just as a very simple example, table banking. They will be able to have money in their pockets to ensure that the society is coherent in the sense that there is business activities that are taking place and the youth are engaged, coherent in the sense that there is food at the table at the grassroots level, because those little businesses they do ensures that they have money for them to operate and ensures that the youth are busy running up and down doing their businesses. And we reduce all those vices that we see in society, because everybody is engaged in a business activity, an education of their kids, because those groups will be able to make earn some interest on the activities and pay school fees for their kids. So it's actually an interesting aspect, a very important approach of uplifting the certain cadre of our society to a certain level that ensures development both economically and socially.